So today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I will be breaking down what I believe to be the biggest mistake that investors are making right now. Now, before we get into that, I did want to say real quick, this week's giveaway is going to be an Anthony Edwards Select Silver Rookie in a PSA 9. If you would like to enter, all you have to do is subscribe, like this video, and comment the word done. And as usual, the giveaway winners will be posted on my personal Instagram at itskanalahuja. So definitely go ahead and follow if you haven't already to stay tuned with our giveaways. Now, without further ado, we're going to hop right into this video. So one of the biggest mistakes that I am seeing investors making right now is buying into players when the upside is already baked in. Now, what I mean is if you are prospecting in a player for the long term, for example, I know a lot of people are prospecting right now in guys like Justin Herbert. For football, we're going to be going over some basketball examples too. But if you look right here for his National Treasures, which is his staple investment, his most investment worthy piece, I would say, in a BGS 9.5, it is around a $40,000 card right now. It was as high as almost $100,000 earlier this year. Now, people investing in Justin Herbert are hoping he's going to have a Hall of Fame career, a career such as a career similar to someone such as Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, maybe Peyton Manning. And keep in mind, Peyton Manning may be a top 5 quarterback of all time, possibly a top 3 quarterback of all time. Now, if you look at his Topps Chrome Refractors, which is his staple investment piece, this is one of his core pieces, and it even has a lower pop than a lot of other Justin Herbert cards, just because Herbert has a lot more options to choose from. This is his staple card in a PSA 10. It is a $10,000 card. In a BGS 9.5 like Herbert, it is a $3,700 card. So if Herbert does end up having a Hall of Fame career, being one of the best quarterbacks of all time, where is the upside if you're holding these for the long term? If you're buying in Justin Herbert, even if everything works out to plan, which the odds of Herbert having a Peyton Manning career, winning Super Bowls, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and then all of a sudden you see his prices, 10% of Herbert. It just doesn't make much sense. So for a lot of people prospecting for the long term, it is not going to work out. Now, if you look at, for example, Victor Wembanyama, a lot of his cards as well right now are going for ridiculous prices. If we want to look at his Sports Illustrated, for example, his Sports Illustrated right now is getting bought up a lot. I don't know if they have it on alt, but this card right here is around a $10,000 card in a PSA 10. At least there were some sales around there. And LeBron's same card in a PSA 10 is around a couple $100. So that is just, where's the upside? For example, let's go ahead and search into this right here for a PSA 10. There are only 170 of these, and LeBron's goes for around $800. Now, this same card for Victor Wembanyama is around 5 to 10x the price, and it's going to end up with a higher pop than LeBron's, which is insane. So even if Victor does end up, as a LeBron James, as one of the best players of all time, you're still likely going to lose money on his cards, which is the craziest thing to think about. So if you're prospecting and you are absolutely on point and he ends up being the greatest player of all time, you are likely to still lose 80 to 90% of your money. So that is simply one big mistake that I'm seeing investors making. If you are prospecting, look at the greats who you think your player wants to be like. One another key example is going to be Anthony Edwards. I know it's funny we're doing an Anthony Edwards giveaway while talking about how overpriced some of his cards are. This is one of Anthony Edwards' best rookie cards. They're around a $50,000 card in a BGS 9, and you can see some cards, some sales are all over the place, but regardless, it is well into the 5 figures. And a lot of people are hoping that best case, he ends up being a Dwayne Wade. Now, if you want to look at Dwayne Wade's Topps Chrome Refractors, which are one of his best cards of all time, he's won championships, and this is his staple investment. It is a $2,000 card. So if Anthony Edwards does end up having a Dwayne Wade-like career, is your investment going to pan out? I don't think so. And I think it could still lose a lot of money. So a lot of cards get hyped up in the beginning. There's so many high hopes, but keep in mind, if you are investing in a young player, you have to understand if this pans out and he does end up being like this all-time great, if I'm holding for the long term, look at the prices of the guy you're comparing him to, because if Anthony Edwards is going to be the next Dwayne Wade, some of Dwayne Wade's best rookie cards numbered out of 220 in that very iconic set after winning multiple championships, MVPs. It's a $1,400 card in a BGS 9, and people are paying $50,000 for an Anthony Edwards card in hopes that he will be Dwayne Wade. And so I just really wanted to get people's eyes open when it comes to this. If you're prospecting, be very careful, especially if you're holding for the long term. Now, if you're holding for the short term and you think Anthony Edwards is going to have a great year next year, yes, you could potentially be right, and you could potentially make money based off that. But if you are someone who's like, I'm investing in Anthony Edwards for the long term, the odds of that panning out, I would personally be honest, close to zero. In my personal opinion, just based on the data I have seen and being in the hobby for 10 plus years, that is essentially what I've come down to in terms of my personal view of investing in these young players. So you have to be very careful. You can see some of his best cards, six-figure cards, amazing. If he has a great year next year, could make 30% on your money, but if you're holding for the long term, not good at all. You're basically paying the price of a Michael Jordan Fleer PSA 10 after Michael Jordan being the best player of all time, and you're hoping Anthony Edwards can be a third of that. So I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Once again, if you learned something, drop a like, and if you do want to enter into the giveaway, subscribe, like this video, comment the word done. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.